Yo, we are here with the second part of Condensed Chaos. Let's get 6 minutes worth of goodness straight into the noggin. Core principles of chaos magic. While magical systems usually base themselves around a model or map of the spiritual physical universe, such as the Tree of Life, which can sometimes be described as a cosmic philofax, chaos magic is based on a very few core principles, which generally underlie its approach to magic. They are not universal axioms, however, so feel free to swap them around. Number 1. The avoidance of dogmatism. Chaos magicians strive to avoid falling into dogmatism, unless expressing dogmatism is part of a temporary belief system they have entered. Discordians use catmas such as, "Us Discordians must stick apart." Thus, chaos magicians feel entitled to change their minds, contradict themselves, and come up with arguments that are alternatively plausible and implausible. It has been pointed out that we invest a lot of time and energy in being right. What's wrong with being wrong? Occasionally. Number 2. Personal experience is paramount. In other words, don't take my word that such and such is the case. Check it out for yourselves. Magic has suffered extensively from armchair theorists who have perpetuated myths and out-of-date information purely due to laziness of one kind or another. Sometimes it's interesting to ask awkward questions just to see what the self-appointed experts come out with. Some will emit a stream of verbal diarrhea rather than admit to not knowing the answer, whereas the true adept will probably say, "I haven't a fucking clue." Quite early on, chaos magicians came to the startling discovery that once you strip away the layers of dogma, personal beliefs, attitudes, and anecdotes around any particular technique or practical magic, it can be quite simply described. Number 3. Technical excellence. One of the early misconceptions about chaos magic was that it gave practitioners carte blanche to do whatever they liked and so become sloppy, or worse, soggy, in their attitudes through the self-assessment analysis, etc., but this is not so. The chaos approach has always advocated rigorous self-assessment and analysis, emphasize practice of what techniques you're experimenting with until you get the results that you desire. Learning to do magic requires that you develop a set of skills and abilities, and if you are going to get involved in all this weird stuff, why not do it to the best of your ability? Number 4. Deconditioning. The chaos paradigm proposes that one of the primary tasks of the aspiring magician is to thoroughly decondition him or herself from the mesh of beliefs, attitudes, and fictions about self, society, and the world. Our ego is a fiction of stable selfhood which maintains itself by perpetuating the distinctions of what I am not, what I like, what I don't like, beliefs about one's politics, religion, gender preference, degree of free will, race, subculture, etc. These all help maintain a stable sense of self, while the little ways in which we pull against this very stability allows us to feel as though we are unique individuals. Using deconditioning exercises, we can start to widen the cracks in our consensual reality, which hopefully enables us to become less attached to our beliefs and ego fictions, and thus able to discard or modify them when appropriate. Number 5. Diverse approaches. As mentioned earlier, traditional approaches to magic involve choosing one particular system and sticking to it. The chaos perspective, if nothing else, encourages an eclectic approach to development, and chaos magicians are free to choose from any available magic system themes from literature, television, religions, cults, parapsychology, etc. This approach means that if you approach 2 chaos magicians and ask them what they're doing at any one moment, you're rarely likely to find much of a consensus of approach. This makes chaos difficult to pin down as one thing or another, which again tends to worry those who need approaches to magic to be neatly labelled and clear. Number 6. Gnosis. One of the keys to magical ability is the ability to enter altered states of consciousness at will. We tend to draw a distinct line between ordinary consciousness and altered states, where in fact we move between different states of consciousness, such as daydreams, autopilot, where we carry out actions without cognition, and varying degrees of attention all the time. However, as far as magic is concerned, the willed entry into intense altered states can be divided into 2 poles of physiological gnosis, inhibitory states and excitatory states. The former includes physically passive techniques such as meditation, yoga, scrying, contemplation, and sensory deprivation, while the latter includes chanting, drumming, dance, emotional and sexual arousal. Alright, we've still got 40 seconds here, so let's get into the brief history of chaos. The chaos magic movement had its first stirrings in the late 1970s in England. While the new phenomena of punk rock was grabbing the newspaper headlines, and scientists across the world were beginning to delve into the mysterious mathematical world of fractals and nonlinear dynamics, a new approach to magical practice was being synthesized in the wilds of West Yorkshire. At the time, English occultism was very much dominated by three strands of popular: witchcraft, Western Kabbalah, and Thelema. At least there were enough people interested in these approaches to spawn supporting magazines. In one such magazine, The New Equinox, there appeared the early writings of Peter J. Carroll, who is considered the foremost exponent of modern chaos magic. Alright, we're going to stop it there, and we'll be back with more Condensed Chaos tomorrow. Good night, my witches and wizards.